Hey everybody, this is Chase, one of your co-hosts, and this week we have a special episode for you. We've decided to release the second episode we ever recorded, which we did on In the Mouth of Madness, directed by John Carpenter. Now you may have listened to our previous episode, Castle Freak, which was the first episode we ever recorded. So this is kind of the follow-up to that, and we recorded a few more after this as well before we reset and kind of rebranded a little bit. But we thought we couldn't let this episode go to waste because it was just too much fun. So we hope that you enjoy, and thank you for listening. Bye! Episode 2.
Hi guys, welcome.
Your host tonight and all nights will be me, Chase Cummins.
My name's Alan Loosebrock.
We forgot to introduce ourselves in the first episode, so if you're one of the rare people who listen to this from the beginning, you now know our names.
Those are our names now. They're probably not on the front artwork. We forgot to do that as well.
We've got our shit together. Yeah, I promise.
Yeah.
All right, so did you watch anything this week that really stood out to you?
I don't think I watched anything this week, but I watched Blade Runner.
Yes.
And I've watched some other, I feel like most of the things that I've watched have been with you lately.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just kind of new stuff, you know.
Wow, how'd you like Blade Runner?
Blade Runner was amazing.
Blade Runner 2049.
Blade Runner 2049 was fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a really good film. And if you haven't seen it, I guess don't listen to this because we're going to talk about it a little bit, I guess, right?
Yeah, I would like to.
I haven't talked about you with it.
Yeah. I have not talked to you about it either, and I have also seen Blade Runner in the last 6 days.
Yeah. And it was fucking awesome. And I'd say the sound design was a little much. I don't know.
It was loud. It was definitely. You see it in IMAX?
Yes, I saw it in IMAX. Did you?
Yeah, I saw it in IMAX for sure.
Yeah, and it was like...
I liked it. My chair would shake in certain scenes. And
there were some points where I was like, all right. It was interesting. I watched like the last hour of Blade Runner.
The original?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but like, I remember what happens. Let's just watch the last hour, get this shit set up for, the next one. So I did that. Hardly any music in the original Blade Runner.
It's very sparse.
It's,
you watched the final cut, right?
I don't even fucking know. I know I didn't. It wasn't the one with Harrison Ford monologue.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's the one you definitely don't want to watch.
Because I don't know if I know I've seen that one, and I feel like I've seen it when it was on TV or something.
That's how I've seen it.
Yeah, and I don't know if the first time I ever watched it was with that or not.
My first time was definitely not with the voiceover. When I heard the voiceover, I was like, fuck this. This is terrible. This isn't even the same movie.
Silly.
Well, okay, Harrison Ford intentionally did
it
bad, so they wouldn't use it, and then they did anyway.
They did anyway, which is such bullshit.
Well, and the end of the movie's different. Like, they ride away together, and that footage of them driving off isn't even from the Blade Runner crew. They bought it from The Shining, and it was unused footage of the beginning of The Shining.
What?
Yeah, that footage of them driving off at the end of the theatrical cut of Blade Runner. That's how it ends. They drive off in the sunset. It was like that helicopter footage.
Jack Nicholson's in the car.
Yeah. Whoever drove that car when they shot that in The Shining, it's not even shot for the same movie.
That's weird.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's a terrible ending.
Thanks, Ridley.
That was not Ridley Scott's fault. Ridley Scott is to blame for a lot of different things, and he's made some terrible decisions in the past.
But not that.
But not that one.
All right. Right on. But Blade Runner 2049 kept the same kind of like pace and feeling of the original.
Yeah, noir detective.
While also like doing a very good job of being a very different film and like
yeah, I like the story.
doing its own thing, you know.
I was like really surprised when, spoiler alert, that Ryan Gosling was a replicant, like right off the bat.
Oh yeah, immediately
like,
you're like,
it's like they kept that
sure.
like well like guarded secret right there. That was like a twist right at the fucking first 10 minutes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you would not think that, but it makes sense watching the trailer again when he's just like so stoic
the whole time. Yeah, it's because he's
time.
it's like a biological robot.
Yeah.
So
skin job. But
yeah.
That scene, best scene,
Which
in
one?
my eyes, was that scene when she gets the hooker, when Joy gets the hooker.
Oh yeah. Dude, I got out of the theater and I literally said to Jordan, I was like, if Alan sees this movie, that's going to be his favorite part, because that was my favorite part.
It was amazing.
I was like, how did they even do that?
It was fucking beautiful.
It was fantastic.
And like, in so many different ways.
Oh, I know. Visually, emotionally, like everything.
Oh my god, it looked so good too. I was like, oh, that was like a jaw dropper.
Yeah,
it was very, very good.
And they didn't like just cheap out on it. It wasn't like, oh, that was really cool, but it only lasted for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
It was like that. You got the full sequence. Like you saw that to its like that story arc to its conclusion, and it was so perfectly executed.
God, it felt so good watching it. It was amazing.
I loved it.
Probably next favorite, like very close, but like that was just too fucking good. Is the scene where he finally gets to the hotel and he's looking around. And he, I think, has seen Harrison Ford, and he goes into that place.
And the lights turn off.
And the lights turn
off.
off.
The Elvis band starts playing. And the holograms.
God.
Yeah.
All the holograms just like glitching, going on and off.
That was tense. It was tense. I loved it.
It was so fucking awesome.
It was great. That whole movie was a masterwork. Like that I guess it's Denis Villeneuve or however it's pronounced. Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Like I've not seen a movie by him that is not awesome in some way.
What did he do again? I know I've looked it up. Like
the ones I've seen are Prisoners, Enemy, Sicario, Arrival.
I haven't seen Enemy. I've heard Enemy's great.
Oh, I love Enemy. It's weird. I love it. It's like Prisoners, Sicario, and even Arrival are relatively big budget, almost blockbuster, but like way more artful. But like narrative driven, like
straight laced.
Like they you know what they are when like what you're getting into. Like it tells a story, and like they're not conventional, but they are kind of conventional. That's the whole thing. But like Enemy is this whole other thing. It's like The Double. Have you ever seen The Double or read The Double, the Dostoevsky thing? It's just like you find your doppelganger basically, and you have completely opposing personalities, and you like switch places. But it gets way more experimental than that, and there's like, I don't know. It's almost experimental like art house film.
Nice.
Yeah, and it came out right in between Sicario and Prisoners. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like maybe like an earlier one.
So it came out after Prisoners, so he just like took a break from what he was doing in Prisoners and what he ended up doing in Sicario, and made some weird like kind of trippy art house horror movie.
Fuck yeah.
It's really
awesome.
cool.
I didn't even watch that.
Yeah, you should see it.
What is there anything that like stuck out in Blade Runner to you? Like besides
those two sequences?
Those are obviously amazing.
I loved the world building that they continued to do. Honestly, people complaining about it, I actually really liked the like Sean Young. It wasn't really a cameo, but like the young Sean Young they brought back, that whole scene where Jared Leto kills her in front of Harrison Ford, and like I loved that whole sequence. Like,
yeah,
narratively. I know it like hinges a lot on people seeing the first movie and understanding what went on in that. But.
Yeah, but it I don't know. I think they did a good job with it because there's a lot of this, bringing, bringing actors back from the dead.
Yeah.
Like,
I like the way they did that because it was like she was
strange.
supposed to be like a clone of
exactly.
her, so it wasn't perfect.
It made a lot more sense. Like you didn't have to look
exactly perfect. And he
even
points
though
out it looked really good. It looked really good.
Yeah.
But it looked really good. But you could tell it wasn't her just a little bit. But then Harrison Ford points it out. And he's like, "You got her wrong. Like her eyes aren't even the same color.
Yeah.
Like this is just like a shadow of who Rachel actually was." And then they fucking kill her right in front of him. And that was like,
and that was an intense kill.
Yeah, it was like I was not expecting it to just be so brutal.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah, and
it was great.
I read online that Sean Young actually coached the stand-in actress on how to like act like her. Like she was involved in it. Like the actual Sean Young was involved in it and like coached the actual actress. How I don't know how true that is, but that's what I read. And then they used digital CGI or whatever, just touching up. But they made her try and look like Sean Young. And that's what I said when we left the movie. I was like, that had to have been a stand-in. That they just used some digital touch-ups too.
I feel like that's what I've heard like they usually do.
Yeah,
or something like that.
They did a good. I thought they did a decent job with it, and they like kind of like narratively leaned into it. It's not going to look perfect.
Yeah,
and they did that. They did that well.
Yeah, they did very well.
I really like that. I love the end of it, like the way we follow Ryan Gosling, and there's like a huge portion of the movie where like it's going to be his son. He's his son.
Yeah,
and they got me to think that was actually what was going.
Sure.
Like,
but it did feel too easy though. I was kind of like,
and that's
kind of all right. Well, we already know, like that's.
But the way they built it up, they did a good enough job to where even if that would have been the only thing, and there wasn't the real twist at the end, and he was the son, I was okay with it.
Yeah,
like at the point when
I
was okay with it, I was like, they earned that storyline. But then the way that they like flipped it around, and I don't know, it was just like so well executed.
And, oh man, and like just from that one scene of her watching his memory,
yeah,
she says it's real, and I'm like, oh shit,
Dude,
is such a good twist.
It was so good, and I misread the scene because I honestly thought that was Gosling's like
exactly.
Yeah.
They did it so well. That, like it was
and
just
Gosling's like huge like anger reaction, like that gave me some chills. I was like, I don't know. I know that's kind of his MO. He's like really stoic, and then he has these big bursts of emotions. I mean, he did it Only God Forgives. He kind of does it in Drive. Like he does it a lot, but like it's so good. Like I love it.
Yeah, and she also like her when she's introduced, like the effects in this movie are just fucking amazing.
They really are. The world looks it was so immersive and so true to what the original was. There's like scenes in the original. And I know you're not the biggest fan of the original, but there's scenes in the original like where Rutger Hauer's walking down the street and he's about to go into like the eye store, I think is the scene. And the streets are kind of empty and there's people milling about, and then this like line of men on bicycles in like traditional Chinese like Buddhist monk clothes with the big like round straw hat things, and they just like ride through these pillars that are in the street, and it's like, and there's fog going through, and just like I love those details of like the atmosphere that they have in the original, and this movie in 2049 captured that like that amount of detail to just like the street walking.
But that's what Blade Runner is to me, like because it's like I like those aspects very much. That's awesome. Like I'm totally about that. That's what I think Blade Runner is. Like when I'm like, I watch Blade Runner. It's like
you just want to see something really pretty and like well designed.
I can watch it.
I like the story too, but really, what makes Blade Runner so good, in my opinion, is you're sitting there watching and you're seeing these just beautiful set pieces like over and over and over again. And what I prefer about the original, and not shitting on 2049 about, because it's its own thing and it did it really, really well. What I love about the original is like the way they used the Bradbury building and just trashed the shit out of it. It made it look like this apocalyptic like apartment complex, and just the look of that, and the Deckard's apartment, which is huge and has those weird bricks that are like all the squares are in them, and it's just so weird. And that was like a real place, and the way they use that like atmosphere. And they just have like the Venetian blinds and the fog and like all the lighting and like
nothing can beat that. Like all the
Yeah.
practical, like that was all was there. There was no CGI or anything. That was just what it looked like in that room, and they like used camera tricks and lighting tricks, and like it's just beautiful to look at.
It's amazing. It's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is a piece of art.
Yeah, and it has this like old school, like you're watching like an old film noir, like old school 1947, 1948 film noir, or like The Maltese Falcon or something. It has that like pacing to it, and it's true to those kinds of stories, and I love those movies, so like just love that.
Yeah.
So I mean, for me, when I sit down and watch Blade Runner, it's just like I'm just watching something that's like slow and pretty and like sultering, and like it's like, I don't know, it almost feels like a bygone era, but it's a futuristic movie, so I love it. And 2049 did like extrapolate on that so well.
Well, it's just so great that a lot of sequels these days, if there's that big of a gap, it's usually very like, you have to, you know, remain true and like try to please your fans or whatever. But like Blade Runner is a very different film for like fans and things like that.
Its fans are like diehard fans, and
yeah, but there's also, you know, Blade Runner's not like, it's big, but it's not like this huge thing that everyone's like.
It's a cult thing.
Oh, we all love Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not like Star Wars. It's not Star Wars.
Yeah. So
or Indiana Jones or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's like this. It's like these like pockets of people that love it.
Mm-hmm. So it opens up the room to like do something like that instead of just having another fucking
like action movie.
Rucker Hauer character with like, you know, 4 more androids that are gonna kill Ryan Gosling.
Well, and I'm glad that they didn't do that, because Rucker Hauer, Roy Batty, is the best part of Blade Runner.
He's the best.
It's the best, and then that line at the end is like that is the best scene in the whole series. Just like that moment is like, it's so good.
The trilogy.
The trilogy.
That was another one.
I don't think I would be so upset.
Just keep on going.
But the Roy Batty stuff is great, and I'm glad that they didn't replicate that. They just did their own. They did this whole original story, and like, I actually enjoyed the choice to have Jared Leto be this really passive villain and not really be in it that much.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about him anyways, and he would have existed in that world, and he filled a certain role, and it made sense for him to be there. But I'm glad that they didn't like make him the like it's him versus them kind of thing.
Exactly.
It was much more like complex and psychological, and
And he was doing some crazy shit.
yeah, and like his motivations made sense though, and like he was a little like his I loved how it was like a gray area. Like was he a bad guy, or was he just like a self-serving capitalist? Like, I mean, both kind of.
Yeah.
But he didn't even do that much fucked up stuff except for the threatening of torturing Harrison Ford and bring the Sean Young thing out, and that's like a little immoral. But like, other than that, what villainous role did he have except for just being like creepy?
He did some villainous shit though. Killing that girl. Well, you know, girl.
The new model, yeah. But that whole sequence, like he's checking out a product, like he's treating it like product.
Chase.
I don't know.
He's just checking out the merchandise, and he didn't like what he saw, and it has feelings, and he killed it.
Yeah, but he gives them the feelings, and that's the whole beauty of Blade Runner. You get into the conversation about what's free will and what makes things alive.
So you're on God's side.
No, I'm not. I appreciated the way they handled him as a villain.
Yeah, he was a pretty great villain.
And because of all of this, hopefully the movie will make some money. I know it's not doing great at the box office, but it's not made budget back. It's only made like $40 million, and it has like a $185 million budget.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's really.
I looked at something wrong then.
Huh?
I looked at something wrong. It said what the budget was, but I don't even want to say it.
What did you hear the budget was?
I heard it was like 38 million or something like that.
No way.
Yeah, I mean,
no way.
Probably not. But I like saw this in.
That's what it made. That's all it made. 38 million was like what its box office weekend is.
I don't know what the fuck I looked at then. Oh well. Come on, Blade Runner.
Make some money, because then we'll get Dune by Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
The guy who made that movie
shit.
can do Dune next. Just got to make a little money.
See, the thing is that making a 3-hour sequel for a movie
That was only 2 hours long,
that not everybody,
and not everyone likes.
you know, is about, is a gamble for sure. Like,
But he did a good job, and it's getting like
he did a
great
great
reviews.
He did a great fucking job, but it doesn't cut down those 3 hours. And a lot of people are not about that shit.
Yeah, they're wrong in my opinion.
Yeah.
In my opinion, you're just missing out.
Yeah, I know a lot.
It's like going to a concert. That movie is like an experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's
Which is
not
what
just
I
going
want,
to the movies.
Which is what I want.
Yeah.
You know, for sure. If it's like 3 hours of trash, that sucks. But it's not.
Yeah. It
And-
was like, to me, it was like when I was a kid going to see the new Lord of the Rings movie in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I compared it to a couple people. I was like, it must have been what going to see Lawrence of Arabia was like the first time it came out in like the 60s or whatever, 50s, whenever the movie came out. But like, it was epic and it was grand, and the only way to see it was on the big screen, and it made you feel something else.
Yeah. Yeah, there are plenty of movies that just deserve like to be seen on such a big screen. You know, it's just not the same otherwise.
But
And-
not every movie
No,
is
yeah,
like that.
definitely.
Yeah. And not even, I wouldn't even say the new Marvel movies hit the kind of like grandness that Blade Runner movie
Yeah, you
made
could
me feel.
definitely go without. You know, you could wait and you probably still feel the same.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people. There's a lot of podcasts that I listen to where people talk about movies, and they just complain. They're like, "Man, this fucking movie, like,
It's too long. Yeah.
too long. I'm not gonna go see it."
Yeah. People don't want to sit there for that long. I guess I get it. I mean, I get it. But like,
Yeah, I'm not.
it
like that.
sucks to me. Yeah. I'm not like that.
Yeah. Oh.
Whatever.
Mm.
Their loss. Their loss, I guess. I want more from that guy. So from that director,
Yeah.
I want to see some more.
Some Dune.
I want to see some Dune, man.
Fuck yes.
I'm ready for a good Dune. I'm ready for a good Dune. I can't even watch David Lynch's Dune.
No,
I really can't.
It's not fun.
It's kind of fun, just not the kind of fun I want in a Dune movie.
No, yeah, there are some silly parts. He just looks like the main character. Looks like Eric Foreman the whole time.
Yeah, young Kyle MacLachlan. Oh my god. They need to get him and Topher Grace to be in like a Portlandia episode together.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
would be great.
That would be great.
Oh.
Other than that, I've just been watching The Deuce, which I haven't seen the new episode. Have you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh shit.
It's good.
You know, The Deuce is awesome, and Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's pretty much it.
Did you like the new episode?
Yeah, it's
It's so
fantastic.
funny, man.
Give me that pickle jar. That's so good. It's amazing.
It's hilarious.
I tried to start watching Darkman.
Mm.
Have you watched that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I did not get very far, and I didn't stop for any reason other than I was just tired. But it looks pretty like silly, and I was watching some like review on Blade, and then they started talking about all these
Darkman.
like Marvel like just comic book movies that came out.
Darkman, like the Sam Raimi.
Yes.
I have seen
Liam
Darkman.
Neeson
Yeah, I
and-
have seen Darkman. It is very fun. It is a very fun movie.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
I like that movie. I remember I lived with my parents still when I watched that. It was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like bored one afternoon. I was like, I'm gonna watch Darkman because I don't have a job or anything else to do.
It's very like all the scenes are so Sam Raimi. You know,
Yeah,
kinda-
it's like watching. It's really like watching like a precursor to the Spider-Man movie.
They're very exaggerated and awesome, and I love that shit.
Yeah.
It's so.
It's very comic booky.
Yeah.
I have seen Dark. That's a great movie. Well, this week I've watched so much.
Oh my god.
And I'll just name drop some of it. I watched the entire Fast and the Furious franchise
What?
this weekend.
And your overall review.
It gets better as it goes along.
That's good, I guess.
By the time you get to Furious 7, it's having a good time. It's like watching a superhero movie. But all the villains are people, and you know, it's just like crazy like stunt work. And instead of like aliens and shit, I kind of liked it better than the last couple Marvel movies. Honestly, I thought I was gonna hate it, but James Wan directed the 7th one. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
The 8th one I fell asleep in. Seemed kind of fun.
It's pretty long too, isn't it?
It's like 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
I was like, how the fuck do they? That movie made almost $1 billion. But
It's just action for 2.5 hours.
Like ridiculous action. That's what I'm like glad that they just leaned into it. And they're like, we're gonna literally drop cars from airplanes and let them parachute to the ground and just start driving and like drive off cliffs and like what? Drive off of an airplane
It's a
and
fucking
fall.
Hot Wheels movie.
It's a Hot Wheels movie with fucking Vin Diesel.
And The Rock.
Oh, they hate each other too.
I know, it's such a bummer.
Yeah.
I heard from
Yeah.
the trailer.
In real life, they don't do any scenes together anymore.
Oh wait, they really hate each other. Like
yeah,
in real
like
life.
in the Fate of the Furious.
What?
In the
Really?
Fate of the Furious, they
Not
do.
what I meant.
They literally hate each other, and like in the Fate of the Furious, they'll be in scenes together, but they were never in the same room when they filmed it. It would be like the shot, if you notice, will be like The Rock, and then it'll do a cutaway to a different shot, and it'll be Vin Diesel, and they filmed them on different days, so they didn't have to work together.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is fucking insane.
I was like, what?
I don't know how fucking. I don't. If I was an actor, stretch. I think that would be. I wouldn't even want to do the movie. I just feel like I mean, it's a lot of money.
That is Vin Diesel's baby though. He
It's
has
like-
been in that movie for 16 years. He's in every single movie.
Oh my god.
He was in more than Paul Walker was even before Paul Walker passed away. Because Vin Diesel shows up in Tokyo Drift.
Well, damn. Good job, man.
Yeah, I fucking did that. Check that off the list. Was that franchise for me? I heard it was just gloriously bad. From the How Did This Get Made podcast, they did an episode with Adam Scott, and I was like, that sounds like something I should like watch.
Apparently, I heard something about when Vin Diesel first moved to like LA or something. He would just rent like really fucking nice cars, like lease them, and then like go to parties in them, like
Really?
big parties, and like people would like notice him, and that's how he like got it in.
What?
Yeah,
That's insane. Is that true?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Oh,
Like
I believe it. I believe it. Oh my god.
yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. That's like the shitty like bro version of Spielberg sneaking into the production offices and just bullshitting his way into a job.
It's like good-looking strong guy with a nice muscle car.
He must be important.
Yeah, let's talk to him.
He is now. God damn it.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I guess.
You gotta have a certain look. Just pull it off.
Yeah.
And,
You gotta look like Vin Diesel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, he's successful. I'll give him that.
What else did you watch?
Um,
Is that it?
No. See, Jordan and I watched a few movies this weekend too. Oh God, I don't remember all of them. I know we watched The Monster with Zoe Kazan, which was okay. She's great in it, but the movie's okay. The Devil's Candy, which was actually pretty fun, but pretty straightforward, and just a lot of like old Metallica music with like really well shot, like trippy horror Satan shit. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Oh man, Gerald's Game.
You watched Gerald's Game for the first time?
Yeah,
I've still not seen it.
I loved it.
Okay, cool.
The ending is a little weird. Like it tonally just takes like a tonal shift in the last like 15 minutes that is like I didn't expect this. I'm okay with it because the rest of the movie was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like it was really well done, and the tone. Like the only people I've talked to about it were like Justin Rowe. I don't know if you know, and you obviously know Justin Rowe.
Yeah.
He hated it only because of the ending. He liked it until the ending, and I was like, I don't even mind. Like who cares?
Yeah.
It was like well made, man.
I think I'll be all right. I'll be able to watch it.
There's a scene in it that I know you're going to really like.
Uh-huh.
There's a couple scenes that I think you'll enjoy, but there's one scene in particular that I know you're going to really
What are you
like.
trying to say? More chicks? I'm just kidding.
That's the only one. It's the only one.
More robot chicks?
Robot
Computer chicks?
Yeah. Hooker scenes? They're going to blend together?
Yeah, step inside each other's skin.
I also started watching the Exorcist TV show this week.
Oh.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't
How
hate
many
it.
episodes is he on?
I've seen 5.
Jesus, Chase. Really committing.
I really got into
How many
it.
seasons are there?
It's on the 2nd season now. It's an anthology apparently. So it like
Oh, it changes?
yeah, like the first one is pretty directly related to the movie.
Yeah.
It's not a remake of it, but it's connected to it. And then
Is there piss and vomit?
yeah,
All right. Well,
there's like
it's the same shit then.
it's like multiple demons in this though,
Oh.
like more than one possession.
Nice.
And like Gina Davis is in it. Alan Ruck is in it, which is entertaining to see him in something. I like it. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty entertaining.
Right on. Horror TV.
Yeah, it's like a horror. It kind of reminds me of Hannibal, in the way that it's like shot as well as Hannibal. And
I
like
watched like one episode of Hannibal, and then like, oh, you love Hannibal?
Hannibal, the show is
Is
awesome.
great?
Yeah, it gets
Oh, really?
so good.
Shit.
The end of season 2 is one of the best season endings I've ever seen in any show. Like it's up there with like top 5
What?
best endings to a show.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's like so good.
Damn. How many seasons are there of that?
3. And I haven't seen the 3rd season, but apparently it's even better than the 2nd season.
What?
And the 3rd season is Red Dragon.
Oh.
And they're hopefully going to bring back Hannibal. It got canceled, but they're hopefully going to bring it back on Amazon. And Brian Fuller does it, the guy who did American Gods. And then,
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's who does the show.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's really good. There's one plot line I hate, and that's the only problem I have with it. And you'll hate it too. It's the only plot line I have a problem with.
Maybe I'll love it.
Maybe it's shitty.
Got bad opinions.
It's shitty. But yeah, he wanted to finish out the show by going like it's like a prequel to Hannibal or to Red Dragon, and then I guess the 3rd season is Red Dragon, the Tooth Fairy Killer, and then it's gonna go through the rest of the books.
Wow.
And like they were gonna have, I forget who was gonna play Clarice, but somebody really fucking cool was supposed to play Clarice in the 4th season. So, but yeah, it's great.
I'll have to jump on that then. I didn't know, you know.
The 1st season kind of starts with like a murder of the week kind of thing. It builds an overall plot, but like it still has that structure. But by the time you get to the beginning of season 2, the end of season 1, it starts getting really cool.
Uh-oh.
All right. But that's basically everything I've seen this week.
Wow.
There's a couple other things I watched. I just don't remember everything.
Jesus.
I watched too much.
That's a lot. That's a
of
lot of
stuff.
stuff. My God. Wish I had the. I just fall asleep. I just fall asleep so fast.
I don't know why I don't.
One thing and I'm done.
I've watched 3 movies in a night most of the week.
Damn. I wish man, that sounds great. One day.
It's solitary.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. It's fun. I enjoy myself. But yeah, so let's get into the movie we watched tonight.
All right. Tonight
Bring
we
us
watched
to the present.
In the Mouth of Madness by John Carpenter.
Yeah, it was it's a wild ride.
It was great.
I love
I
it.
had a pretty good time. Mostly because of the acting is actually pretty good. I mean, Sam Neill at least.
Sam Neill's always equal parts like entertaining, ridiculous, and like I can take him seriously at the same time. Like I can do all 3 with him.
Like whoever wrote his lines, you know, might have been a little ridiculous, but he's still like
He delivers them
Delivers
well.
pretty
He does
well.
not just like what I like about Sam Neill is like a lot of those B horror movie actors will just say the line. They don't like put any kind of inflection into it or bring any kind of personality to it. It's just like, oh no, we can't go in there. This is real, man. Like it's just generic. Like, but Sam Neill like
hippie.
that was it's the beer.
But yeah, Sam Neill makes like it believable, like he's an actual character in the movie.
Well,
Like,
he brings this like personality to it. the way he like draws out like "fuck you."
Come on, you bitch. Come on, you old bitch. Best line of the movie. So good.
Fucking Happy Gilmore's grandma, just like hacking a guy to death with an axe in the basement. Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. The banter between him and the cop, his like partner at the beginning, I think he's his partner. Like I remember, like they were both doing like pretty good job. Like I was like, okay, this like feels real.
Yeah,
it doesn't
real
feel like
enough
this is
anyways.
like setting up for like to just be cheese fest.
It's not all exposition. Like,
yeah.
I mean, so a lot of it is, but it's done. It's like coded in a way with the dialogue that you don't feel like a character's just looking at the screen going, and then you need to go here because this plot point is happening next.
Yeah. Which seems, well, it is John Carpenter, but it's also H.P. Lovecraft, and it's just, you know.
John Carpenter borrowed all the like perfect elements from Lovecraft, and he's obviously skilled at making movies.
Yeah. And the opening credits start with those, just like this music starts playing, chugging along, like we're like
He scored
hard
that.
rock. Oh yeah, I'm sure he did. Along with artist Robertson. And
His name is his title.
it's just like printing the covers of the books for Sutter Cane.
Sutter Cane, great name.
Yeah,
Great
Sutter
name.
Cane.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I was a little off put towards the end when like you have like the synth music playing and it's like really tonal, and then there's just this like drum beat underneath the whole thing.
Yeah, like it's like back to like kind of like a cop drama or something.
I don't know what it made me feel, but it wasn't.
I feel like there should be like some guitar like coming in like bow wow, or something that's very strange.
But there's such like this tonal synth stuff, like piano music playing, and you're like, why is there a beat under this? Like, what? And why is it that beat?
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
But other than that, I'm okay with like the '94 metal music, like
Oh yeah,
like Metallica
It's not in there a
sounding
lot.
stuff. It's the beginning and the end.
yeah.
And like a little bit in the middle, and you're like, why is that there?
I love it.
It's really good.
So the movie is about him investigating the disappearance of Sutter Cane, who's an author who writes horror novels very much like Stephen King.
They even compare him to Stephen King at one point.
Even better. Nobody buys Stephen King shit anymore.
He sells even more copies than Stephen King. Forget about him.
Yeah. Fuck Stephen King.
Except this character doesn't exist without Stephen King.
Yeah. Yeah. But so he's investigating, and there's like it's like it comes up so much during his day, like
Yeah.
after the first moment that a guy with an axe breaks through the window and says something about Sutter Cane.
Do you read Sutter? Do you read Sutter Cane? What? Tries to kill him, gets shot, then goes home and hears about mass hysteria on the news, and the reports talking about after reading the new release of horror author Sutter Cane's novel, people are lining up and violence is occurring because they can't get enough advance copies.
They can't read the next book.
Yeah,
And
and
start killing people.
and he's just like, fucking what? Who the fuck this Sutter Cane guy? And then they're in the meeting and he's like, oh, is that the guy who writes those stupid horror books? Like he doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, and says it to like the fucking editor.
To Charlton Heston. Why is he in this movie?
Yeah, I don't know. Favors.
Yeah, I guess. He's good in it. I mean, in the two scenes that he's in.
Yeah, he does a fine job.
He's,
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's not like you're watching Moses, but
Yeah, love that movie.
the Ten Commandments.
Love that movie, Moses.
That movie Moses. Why haven't they made a movie just about Moses and named it Moses?
True.
Yeah, you have the Ten Commandments, great, and then Ridley Scott.
Noah.
No, see, Noah did it. Darren Aronofsky did it.
Yeah. I actually didn't even know that was a Darren Aronofsky film.
Really?
Like, yeah, until like after Mother came out, and I was like looking up like shit, and I was like, he didn't know what? Like,
Yeah.
what?
If you watch it, you can kind of see his style there in like a couple scenes.
It's very strange. I never saw the movie.
Oh, I like Noah. It's not his best movie, but it's better than you'd expect. It's not as bad as people said it was. Mother was awesome. Did you see Mother?
Still have not.
Dude.
Yeah, I need to.
I love Mother. Apparently that's like the most like dividing statement of this year is
You love your mother?
you love Mother or you hate Mother. We're all Norman Bates or something. I loved it. I thought it was great.
I guess so. I don't know.
It's trippy.
I haven't heard too much about it from anyone else. But
Go.
yeah, I want to go see it for
Go
sure.
see it.
I'll bring
it's
I'll
worth
bring a
it.
nice lady to the theater.
I don't know. It's not a date movie, man.
First date.
First date, going to see Mother.
Yeah, let's go see this movie. Come on.
Oh, that would be an uncomfortable date. But
I'm the king of awkward. It'll be okay.
I if anybody can handle that situation, it would
I'll
be you.
flip the switch.
Make it a
Boy,
positive.
those filmmakers. What are they doing these days? Let's go grab a bite, maybe.
Just after the end of the movie, fuck this movie. Want to get some food?
Let's go get our money back.
We watched the whole thing. We want our money back.
This movie is terrible. Who made this? You?
I heard the guy who did Noah made this.
Kill a
Fuck
guy.
that guy. You kill a guy in the theater. Just, you're responsible for this movie.
That's how I fall in love. That's how I get a girl to love me.
That would make a good movie. Couple goes to see Mother, and the guy kills a dude in the theater after the movie, and then they fall in love.
Yeah.
It's like Natural Born Killers.
Yeah. Oh, baby, I love you so
So
much.
much.
Thanks for doing that for me. No problem, baby.
We're gonna go on the road.
Fucking hunt down these filmmakers.
We're gonna
and
kill
then
them all.
have that cameos of the actual filmmakers
Filmmakers.
throughout it.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. John Michael and I came up with a movie idea once called Who in the World is Quentin Tarantino? And it's like a kid who goes to Hollywood and he starts unraveling this huge conspiracy that like everyone in Hollywood is actually Quentin Tarantino. And the face of Quentin Tarantino is actually just some crazy homeless guy that they get to be like the face in interviews. But all of his movies are actually made by, it's like a well-guarded secret. Everyone in Hollywood is Quentin Tarantino.
Oh
And he
my
starts
God.
unraveling the plot, and then he gets like, people start trying to kill him and he can't like escape. And like,
That'd be great.
I want to make that movie one day.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Who in the world is Quentin Tarantino? And then you get Quentin Tarantino playing himself, but he's like playing a homeless guy who's just crazy the whole
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
It's like being John Malkovich.
Kind of. Yeah. Charlie Kaufman, if you ever listen to this,
Yeah.
call me. We'll write this together.
We'll make being John Malkovich, but with Quentin Tarantino.
It's different, but
We could use your help.
I need your guidance. Oh, well, back to In the Mouth of Madness.
In the Mouth of Madness opens up actually before all that, him being put in the insane asylum, which you don't really need to see, but you don't see his face at all at the beginning, and it literally looks like the beginning of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and it looks like you're just gonna pan up to Jack Nicholson.
He's just like McMurphy's just laughing at the camera. Like, what is he doing in this? Why is he in this movie?
There are axes in this film too.
Yeah, it's The Shining meets One Flew.
It could have easily been Rosario Dawson, Jack Nicholson, and Ian McKellen.
You just made a great movie up right there. That's a great movie.
Yeah, could have easily been that.
Yeah, it isn't though.
No, it's not. It's not that.
We got fucking Jurassic Park and
I don't know the other
Teenage
the girls.
Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 and I don't know what the fuck that girl was in, and then the Ten Commandments and like
And Wayne's World.
yeah, oh that guy.
Fucking Dana
Garth.
Carvey.
Stuck on a bike.
Around on a bike. Oh, it's so good. I liked him a lot. Because you can tell it's like a young guy with just a shit ton of makeup
Yeah,
on.
it's like the first young guy she sees, and they just put a mask on him. It's all right. It looks fine. It was creepy.
It looks fine.
I loved it. I fucking loved it.
It's very entertaining. For sure. So, in this movie, after he starts investigating, you know, he picks up a book.
Yeah, well, he's the insurance investigator.
Yeah.
And he
thinks they're kind of fucking with him to like start like some promotional shit for
Yeah.
the new book.
I love how they establish that he's just like a great investigator with that opening scene with the guy who is trying to, I guess, get insurance money on the house that burned down.
Yeah.
And
he's just grilling him.
He's like, I thought I answered all these questions. He's acting the most guilty that
Yeah.
anybody could act. Like,
Yeah.
he's like obviously guilty.
Sweating his
Yeah.
ass
Oh,
off.
it's really hot in here, guys. Like,
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
do we have to, really have to answer more
pick up
questions?
my wife. And then they show him some pictures of
His wife wearing the
wearing
stuff.
like some fur coat, and then like the
And then-
shit that's supposedly burned, and
Yeah.
then another woman wearing the same shit.
And he's like, haha, I got you.
Yeah.
Don't fuck around on your wife if you're going to try and commit insurance fraud with your wife. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that makes you a great investigator or that guy just a fucking dumbass. But
Probably pretty easy.
yeah, that seems like an
Literally found his wife, talked to her, got the answers.
yeah, it's like that easy. Yeah. And I don't
Said,
know.
hey, this guy's been cheating on you. Oh, I'll tell you everything.
It's like, all right, well, and then that is supposed to tell us that Sam Neill is some like virtuoso maestro of an insurance fraud investigator.
Yeah.
The guy he's working with on the case
He's
takes him
very
out to
happy.
lunch, and he's like, "You're the best. You've got the best eye I've ever seen for these cons. You've never had a bad case." It's like, all right, I guess he's the best at what he does.
He's doing great.
And then somebody tries to kill him. Then he gets called onto this new case that the guy was begging him to do about the Sutter Cane guy that he's now heard about several times before he pretends like he doesn't, or I guess acts like he doesn't know who he's talking about in the meeting, and then is it at that point that he gets sent out, or no, he goes and gets the book.
He goes and gets some of the books. Some nerdy kid says some weird shit to him, saying he can see you. And he's like, oh, the fuck? Goes home, starts reading this shit.
We just say too, this kid's glasses were taped in the middle, and he had scratches all over his face.
Hey, a couple like deep scratches on his face.
What the fuck happened? And that were still bleeding. Like
Yeah.
it just happened.
And that doesn't really fit in. I don't know where that, it's fine. Maybe unrelated.
What happened to that kid? Right before he walked into that bookstore.
Yeah. Not very mise-en-scene, John Carpenter.
It fits the mise en scene. It just doesn't make any goddamn sense.
God damn it. Ghost starts reading these books, falls asleep, has a terrible dream of a thing that happened earlier where he goes
He's walking home
in
and he
this
sees
alley.
and the cops beating the kid who's spray painting something
Yeah.
on the wall. It says ICA.
Yeah, but then this time he turns around and he's got like a pig, crusty, nasty face.
And these people show up behind him, and it's like the guy who tried to attack him, and then a bunch of random people with axes. And they start like hacking at the agent guy who tried to kill him earlier. And it's fucking weird, and he backs up into the pig dude and then wakes up on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And then the pig dude's next to him again, and then he wakes up again. And you're
yeah, and it's like, oh my god.
It's a dream within a dream.
Yeah, and I wanted it to happen again. Honestly.
It did happen again.
I really wanted just more of that over and over.
Just constantly him just waking up
Yeah.
over and over and over
Yeah,
again.
like halfway through, we get 30 more minutes into the film, and then he just...
He just wakes up on the
On the
couch.
couch.
Oh god. What?
But I think it's at that moment that he, even if it's not, whatever, he's got all the Sutter Home.
Sutter Home. The Sutter Homes.
He's got all the Sutter Home books in front of him. He rips off all the front covers of them.
This is not explained why he has just decided to do this either. He just starts doing it.
You know, and I think they could have done it better by like maybe showing like what the front covers actually look like a little closer. Maybe if there was like actually a pattern. They didn't really do that. He just starts cutting up these patterns and then boom, it's like the shape of like a county.
Yeah. But you don't even get that context right away. You just see this like shape, and it like the camera does this slow pan down of it, and you're like, well, what is the significance of that? I'm like looking at the images and see if it's trying to make like another image or something. And then it cuts to the next scene, and he lays a map down on top of it, and he goes, look, it's the whole, like it's New England. It's just part of New England. And how did you see that? Like, what person has the shape of New England so committed to memory that they know that like this little piece of a book stitched together fits perfectly into the map of New England?
It's a movie, Chase.
I'm just saying.
You didn't like movies.
I'm just saying. I love this movie. I fucking love this movie.
He looked at a map. You want that fucking scene in there?
I don't understand.
It could have very well been in there, you know, and they cut it out. You know, he does that, and then he goes, wait a minute, and then he goes into his study, and he puts it on the map, and he's like, wow, it's the same fucking thing. Wow. I'm going to have to tell the boys about this later.
He must really be...
Time to go to sleep, though. Wake up in the morning and do this.
And do this later. Well, he must be the best investigator ever because he just knows.
He is. We already know that.
Yeah. Because he catches the cheating guy. I gotcha. I'm on the same page now.
All right, cool. Anyway, does that. He's like, we got to go to this place. It's a real place. May not have been called this, you know, anytime recently, but, you know, it used to be this place called the Hobbit's Den.
With Gandalf the Wizard.
Hub's End or some shit.
It's like Hobbs End, I think.
End, yeah.
I think the book's called Horror at Hobbs End.
Yeah. And so then Chief sends him off.
Moses sends him and Styles.
Linda Styles.
Linda Styles, what a name.
Yeah. Oof.
So, the Rosario Dawson wannabe.
Yeah.
Or I wish it was Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, we all wish. But it wasn't.
It was Linda Styles.
A little dull. Great actress, though. But, so they go off, you know, to start investigating this shit in Hobbs End. Really weird shit happens while they're driving. They're having like hallucinations of like people on bikes, and then she like she's driving and she hits one of them.
It's like she passes this kid who's like riding his bike, and it's got the like cards on the thing or whatever, and then she keeps going, and then she comes up, and it's like the same bike, same figure, same coat and everything, and she passes him, and it's like an old man with white hair, and she's like, what the fuck? And like tries to say something to Sam Neill, and Sam Neill's asleep, and then she keeps going and then passes the same guy again, I think, and then is like freaking out, and then looks ahead, and he's just standing in the middle of the road, and she runs over him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, what?
And also when Sam Neill is driving, to wake her up, he pulls out a fucking horn, like a little honky.
Like clown honk thing.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck?
He honks and then hides it really fast, and she wakes up and she's like, what the? And then she starts hitting him, like really hard, and he's like, I didn't do anything. What did I do?
Like,
what did I do?
Bitch.
It was just that's a weird scene.
It was weird that he like just pulled that out. Like they were like they just brought that prop and told him to do it. John Carpenter explaining this to Sam Neill. Like,
I just want you to honk it and wake her up.
You know, I'd just be like, as an actor, I think there's a better way to do this.
I guess they're trying to like make him out as like a prankster or something,
yeah.
but like they never really go back to that.
No,
the rest of the movie, he's just insistent that whatever's happening isn't happening.
His character.
Yeah, it's like him doing that is just, it's weird, but
yeah. Oh well.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm glad
great.
it's there. But yeah, so she's driving, and then all this happens, and I think she goes to check on the kid, and he's just like, he won't let me leave, he won't let me stop, or whatever, and she's like freaks out, keeps driving,
like,
and
gets
then
up and rides away.
That's right. He just like.
And there's like a sound effect that's fantastic. It almost looks like he's like flying away, and then he knows that he is actually on his bike. But
the way they shot that was pretty great.
It was fantastic.
I love that, and I love the following sequence where she starts like she's like goes off the road and the lines go away and she's like over the sky and then like just shows up in Hobbs End. Like that whole sequence is.
It is pretty. Yeah, it is pretty
trippy.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. So then she's there. It's fucking daytime,
and she's freaking out. And you're freaking out.
And I was freaking the fuck out.
And Sam Neill was not freaking out.
Yelling at the television. Sam Neill's getting up. He's like, man, I must have slept all night. It's like, fuck you, Sam Neill.
Yeah, I hate you right now.
But then they like start checking out the town, and they go to the hotel, and Happy Gilmore's grandma is there.
And they're looking at some weird painting on the wall. I like that whole painting bit with like the character keeps turning around and like they keep changing. And
I like it a lot, like when it turns into like the Cthulhu little
monsters.
Creatures.
Those
like,
look so good.
They look great.
Yeah.
I would love that painting in my house.
Like I want that. I want to commission someone to paint that.
It'd be so good. But Happy Gilmore's grandma is acting sketchy as fuck and super weird, and it's great. I love how she's acting because she's being all, she's very
like,
wily.
Yeah.
Like,
I've never heard of him. Like they're like, who's Sutter Cane? Oh, I've never heard of the man. I think you're lying.
Okay, whatever, lady. Let's get a room. They go up there. The fucking Sam Neill. What's his name?
John Trent.
John Trent.
Is that his name? I think that's his character's name.
Some Trent.
I think it's John Trent.
Yeah.
Generic.
Well, him and Linda, they're, kind of arguing because it's like, it's real, it's here. And he's like, well, if it's real, then there should be a church right out this window. Zagoing. No church, it's a fucking barn. A damn big barn at that. And she's like, you didn't read well enough. It was on the east side. Fucking opens the window, and there's this crazy
looking
like,
chapel.
Fucking, like what the hell?
It's like Bloodborne
some shit
or
from
something.
Russia.
Yeah, it's like the Kremlin's not what?
Yeah,
it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks great.
I want to make this very clear for people. I love the way this movie is shot and it looks. I love it. I love the effects. It's weird. Some of it doesn't make any fucking sense, but it looks awesome.
And it's entertaining as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining.
I'm in it.
It's great.
Yeah. It's not a film that I'm gonna be like,
I would recommend it to somebody.
Oh, I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah. People need to see it. Like, but it's John Carpenter. I kind of knew that going in. It's like
exactly.
We go from Castle Freak to In the Mouth of Madness. There is they're both worth watching.
Mm.
For completely different reasons. The completely different reasons.
Yeah, they're very, I don't know, just like the Cthulhu thing, there were very, very many
There's so many
stages of,
of the cosmic horror stuff.
Yeah.
And I think this is like the essence of what Lovecraft, like In the Mouth of Madness has that Lovecraft essence. Mm-hmm. It really does.
Yeah, feels much more like it than... honestly, like
From Beyond or Castle Freak,
even Reanimator.
Yeah,
it really does feel more like it. But I don't know a lot about H.P. Lovecraft, but still, I feel it.
Yeah. Well, the universe is so diverse and stuff, and like there's so many different things. But I loved that they took the like knowledge turns into insanity, and insanity is just being able to see the actual reality. And it's just everybody else can't see it, so you appear to be insane. So like knowledge is like the downfall kind of thing, and as well as like the key to understanding what's going on. I love that, and that's like a huge Lovecraftian theme that you don't see in a lot of those B horror like things, because it's such a complex idea of like knowledge, like the search for knowledge and attaining that knowledge causes you to become insane, because you're not actually insane, but you're perceived to be insane because you're actually seeing reality for what it is, and it's like horrifying. Reality's horrifying. Yeah, and that's like a dark thesis, and other people don't get to that. This did.
Yeah. I'm happy that there's no pineal glands.
Yeah.
Protruding from their heads in this movie, but it is very much the same kind of idea.
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah, it's similar. And there's still monsters in this, and I love that. And like the fucking scene where he rips himself, and like that was great.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was
That
great.
is like, it like starts off, you're like,
That looks terrible.
oh God, what is this? And then like by the end of him ripping himself up, there's just a page ripped in like
in the wall.
fucking world.
Yeah.
And it actually looks pretty fucking great.
It looked great.
I like it a lot.
I like what that suggests as well. I like the meta aspect of this movie too, where it's like the people who don't read the book see the movie, and then you're watching the movie. It's just like what
awesome.
you're seeing.
I love that part.
Yeah.
The end is great.
Yeah, but the way that he cuts the end, it's like the movie he's watching is all the funniest takes.
I actually, right after we got done with this movie, I looked up In the Mouth of Madness, and like the first still image was just him in the movie theater laughing, and I was like, "That's awesome! I want that.
I want like a poster of
Like,
that. Yeah, just Sam Neill
it's
laughing.
really good.
Yeah.
Just like have Sam Neill laughing, and then like Jack Nicholson sitting at the bar in The Shining,
Like right next to each other. That would be so perfect.
That'd be great.
It's a great decoration.
I'm sure there's a third we can find too that'll fit in nicely. But
Oh,
those
absolutely.
are really good together.
Yeah, absolutely. Both of them and the stills of them laughing.
Yeah,
Like,
those are awesome.
yeah. Dude, speaking of The Shining, I am trying to do the Jack Torrance costume for Halloween, and I fucking looked up what the jacket is he's wearing so I can just try and find it online or something. And I don't remember the style. It's called like Bustin or something like that. But
Boston.
I wish.
Some boosting.
Boostin. I don't know I don't forget the style. I wrote it down somewhere, but it was handmade for the movie, and it's in this Busan or something like that. It's a certain style of a jacket, and it's corduroy, and it's obviously the burgundy, and the only thing close to that jacket that you can actually purchase is $2,200. They like don't make that jacket. Like it's never been made except for that movie.
Oh my God.
It's someone just bought the jacket from the movie from an auction at Warner Brothers for 60,000 pounds.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's how much that jacket's worth. You can't find it. Like there's nothing even remotely similar to it.
I understand the, original for sure.
Well, the original, like it's the movie history, and like, but it's actually an original piece of clothing, and it's never been manufactured. You can't like, the closest you can get to it is still $2,200.
Yeah. Jesus.
It's insane. I was like, oh, that makes this costume so much harder. Why do they not? I thought people had
you can't
like,
get it perfect. You gotta get close.
I want to get close, but even to get close, it's expensive. There's no like pre-made costumes for it or anything. Like, I'm gonna have to get real creative on how I make that jacket.
All right, well then you can do it. I believe in you.
I just thought that was a nice piece of trivia that the jacket sold for 60,000 pounds, and the closest thing to it is a $2,200 jacket.
Hell yeah, that's a good range.
Yep.
Shoot for the middle.
Right in
Right
between.
in the middle, yeah. You probably get a pretty nice one.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Man, we like already went to the end.
We're close. I mean, there's not much. Okay, so this movie feels like something that could be summarized in like a Kurt Vonnegut. Like, you've read Kurt Vonnegut, right?
Absolutely.
You know how it's sometimes in those books he'll like say like Kilgore Trout, and he'll like explain the plot of one of Kilgore Trout's novels, and it's like half a page. It takes like half a page, and it's always something like to do with aliens and sci-fi or horror, and then has like a funny meta ending to it, and then it just moves on.
Yes.
This whole movie, the summary of this whole movie, just to summarize could be done in a Vonnegut style half page.
Yeah, it's true.
That's what it feels like. Like, man, like a series of horror novels comes out, and an investigator is sent to investigate the missing author, and as he reads them, he starts to realize that reality is being dictated by these books, and as he discovers he has no control over it and monsters are going to come into the world, he accepts the fact and goes to see and because he can't read the books, he goes to see the movie instead or something. I mean, I'm like doing a shitty job of like writing that out, but like that's what it is.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is, and it's got some little filler to make it 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But
Maybe like some trippy,
it's entertaining film. It's good. But
trippy visuals and stuff, and
Yeah.
like it's like well paced and like it's fun to watch, but like that's the plot.
Yeah.
That's all the plotting that happens.
Apparently the end, like when that slimy busting door like finally opens up and all those monsters are behind it.
Yeah.
Like there's like 30 different people controlling the monsters through like animatronics and like puppetry and shit.
Really?
So like behind all those monsters,
There's like 30 men, like 30 guys.
people.
Yeah.
Like that's great. I love
That's
that.
hilarious. That's hilarious. I can just picture that on set, like, because like everything that's not in front of the camera is probably just like people to the sides and like just crew members standing there like, this looks fucking shitty, man.
I would love to see it though. It would look so cool.
I think it would
to
look
see all
cool.
those people behind it.
Yeah, it'd be
Oh,
awesome.
man, that's awesome. I love that shit.
It looks really good on camera. Like I thought that those effects, the monster effects, look great.
Yeah, they look fine. They're
Yeah.
just, I think the monsters themselves don't look great.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, they're ugly little like fucking animatronics or doll like puppets. Basically, they're giant puppets. I'm assuming.
I think they look how they're supposed to. Like,
Yeah. It works.
Yeah, I think that like that's like how they look was a choice. Like, and they were probably pretty satisfied with it.
Yeah.
And
It
I was
works.
like, I don't know. I don't know about those. But it's all right.
It works.
The monsters weren't really like the big thing in this movie. They were in there and stuff,
and they're
like,
implied and stuff, but like it wasn't what the. But that's never what never what a true Lovecraft story is about. The monster shows up, but like it's more about the character that's trying to summon the monster or like fight the monster. It's great. I loved it, honestly. John Carpenter still has it in 1994.
Is that when it came out in 1994?
Mm-hmm. This came out since we've been alive.
Oh.
Oh, a lot of his movies aren't like that.
Yeah. I realized that the writer, Sutter
Home.
he is in Beer Fest. That's it. That's what I feel like
Is he really?
He is the like lead of the German team.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to rewatch Beer Fest.
Beer Fest is pretty great.
And it's been since high school since I've seen that movie.
I think
Super
it's
Troopers 2 is about to come out though.
I know, and I don't know. We'll see
know.
how that is.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm not super excited. I'll watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
I like their.
I like the Broken
troop,
Lizard. Yeah, I like Broken Lizard, but we'll see. I think Club Dread's pretty funny.
I don't even think I've seen Club Dread.
It's their like horror. It's the first movie they made. It's like
okay,
a horror comedy though. It's like the island party thing with like the mysterious killer just like murdering island people.
Island people.
Island people. People on the island partying, like a bunch of teenagers, fucking bullshit. It's hilarious though.
Damn.
It would like
Yeah,
to
I've never
rewatch
watched
that. We should watch that sometime.
All right, let's watch it sometime. That sounds.
We could do it on the podcast one day.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, what would you? Let's see. H.P. Lovecraft. This is a pretty good one. I like this one a lot. I'm probably gonna rewatch this film, like
With other people.
with other people for sure. I feel like this is like something that, it's like a lot of friends that like sci-fi and like, not quite par.
Yeah.
Just it's so fucking awesome. If you haven't seen it, definitely recommend it.
Yeah,
And
same.
I'd be like, what? You haven't seen this? All right, we're watching it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's one of those for me too.
it's great.
Definitely like would share us with other people and really enjoy it. I don't know, I'd probably give it like 22 balloons out of 36 balloons.
Oh,
It's a good movie.
Balloons. I would give it like, let's see, give it like 3 out of 5 horror novels.
3 whole horror novels out of
3
5?
whole horror novels out of 5.
It's pretty good.
Not bad. It's a 6 out of 10.
It's a 6 out of 10. That's a 6 out of 10.
That's bad.
Mine's
God, this movie's fucking.
it's what it is. Mine's an 11 out of 18.
Okay.
Can't really divide that down much more.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Fooled them.
22 balloons out of 36 balloons, man.
All right. Well, all right. I don't know what we're doing next week, but we'll figure it out.
I don't know. Well, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's wrap this up. I mean, we didn't get super in depth this week on like the trivia or like walking you through the plot or anything like that. I think we talked about Blade Runner for like a solid half hour at the beginning of this.
That's totally fine.
Which I'm okay with. I'm
Yeah,
like
somebody-
fine.
we
with
had
that.
to.
Yeah, we have to talk about Blade Runner. We're still in October. I know that these aren't going to be released in October, but we're in that trend. Let's do, like, I'm trying to watch as much horror as I can. I know you're in the same mindset, so I don't know. You want to do a shitty horror movie? Do you want to do a good horror movie? Do you want to do something like that we've heard is good and neither of us have seen?
I would love to see something that we neither of us have seen for sure. That'd
Well,
be awesome.
That's my, yeah,
You know, that's the
my hope.
open our eyes to
New things. Yeah.
But I don't really care if it's serious or not. If we can find a good serious horror film, I guess even if it's bad enough, it's great.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You just have to be careful with horror that you don't just pick a bad film.
Yeah, because that can happen. I think it can happen in any genre. You can just pick a bad movie and be like, oh, that was boring as fuck.
And then we can just be mad.
Yeah, and then rant about it on the podcast. But I would like to avoid that.
Just tear something down.
I will never shit entirely on a movie because if it exists, somebody tried.
Yeah.
And the fact that somebody tried and got it made and it got some kind of distribution for us to have been able to see it, then kudos, because that's not easy. I know that's not easy to do. So, like, I will never be like 0.
Yeah, and we watched it.
Yeah.
We watched your shitty film.
Yeah. And like good on you for even trying.
Yeah.
Like that, so even if it's a terrible movie.
Mm-hmm. Bravo.
Yeah. So we'll try not to completely rip some of these people apart.
Yeah, I'm sure I will though.
I know we will, but like at the end of the day, you're still gonna get some kind of
we're talking about you. All right, calm down.
You're good. You're fine.
But I don't know. I have no fucking ideas.
I've never seen Trick or Treat, the anthology movie. With Anna Paquin and stuff.
Yeah, I've not either.
I've never seen it, so that's something I would like to watch.
Okay. Definitely on the table. Cult of Chucky.
Any Chucky movie, I'm in.
You're down?
I'm game.
Okay.
Brad Dourif has continued to play Chucky since the first one, and Brad Dourif is awesome. He's in so much good shit. I'm also in for any of the Hellraiser movies.
Oh yes, we should definitely do.
I would like to watch.
I've seen 1 and 2.
I've not seen 2, but I want to do 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you've heard some nice things.
I've heard some nice things, and Adam Scott's in it.
Oh yeah.
And I would love to do that movie.
Yeah, that'd be great. We should definitely do the Adam Scott Hellraiser and the Paul Rudd Halloween.
Dude, yeah, I'm down. That's definitely those are on the table for movies we have to.
That'd be great.
Have to do.
It's just like a double episode.
Yeah.
Just like
the Adam Scott Hellraiser and the
back to back
Paul Rudd Halloween. Yeah. We could do that in the same. That can be a theme episode. That could be our Halloween episode we do with Ben.
Benny boy.
If we can get Ben to watch one of those
famous ass rich motherfucking Ben Gilbert.
Yeah, you motherfuckers know who we're talking about, and he will be on this podcast in the coming days.
Yes, he will, unless he bails.
Get excited
because he's so busy with all of this shit.
What the fuck does that Jew have to do? What
does he not have to do?
I don't know. I don't know what his life is anymore.
Yeah, nor do I.
Busy motherfucker. Anyways, we will hopefully have him on in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that could be a fun dual episode. Watch the Adam Scott Hellraiser with him and have him watch the Halloween before he gets here or something.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I would love that. All right, well.
Well, you've caught a glimpse of what we might be doing next, and I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're going to see the next episode, and you'll know what we've chosen. So, like on the list of episodes.
Yeah.
So
Sorry if we changed our minds. You know,
Yeah.
Found something better, hopefully.
Yeah.
If not, fuck. Whatever.
Anyways, thank you. Thank man for tuning in tonight. We had fun watching this movie. We hope that if you watch it, you have some fun too. And go see Blade Runner 2049.
Oh my god, go see it. It's so good.
It's really good. Go see that in IMAX.
And if you don't watch the movies that we're talking about before you listen to this, it's kind of weird that you're even listening.
Yeah, I don't know why you're listening to us right now. Because like we're not that entertaining or funny or
There's someone who's just listening to this like, I gotta see that movie.
If-
God.
You know, that's the dream. That's the dream, you know? Like, I want to reach someone's life. I want someone to...
Yeah. You're bored in your car, just listening to random fucking shit about a movie you've never seen.
Like, I get it. And I hope that we are that for you. I've been there.
I've
been there. We on the 24-hour car ride from Orlando, Florida to Boston. There was lots of random podcasting, listening to people talk about movies that I've never heard of. So, yeah.
Works out.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.